Hello, everybody. How are you today? It's Dana Sullivan, the Stampin' Chick, here for another Think Tank Thursday. How are you today, my friends? I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm looking forward to visiting with you guys for a little bit this evening. We have a brand new Stampin' Die and mask bundle that I can't wait to share with you. We're going to play with that for a little bit this evening. And we're going to do a little sneak peek of one of the mystery boxes that I have listed on the Stampin' Chicks Facebook group. So, getting started this morning, oh gosh, I have been going nonstop. So, like 5 o'clock this morning, something like that. And I did a little bit of organizing with the new shelves that I got. Many of you may have seen that video I did where I was talking about some shelves that we got from one of the local stores that went out of business. And they've come together really well. But, trying to figure out how to reorganize everything, it's not in stacks and piles, is a bit of a challenge, but I'm looking forward to everything being laid out beautifully and being able to just pull a drawer, little bin or cubby, whatever, that has all of like with like and everything else. You know what I mean? So a lot of you know that I have an entire counter full of product that's retired. In fact, let me just see if I can turn you that way. There you go. You can see it. That's just the slightest little bit of it, and it goes on and on and on. So there is an awful lot of it there. And I am really looking forward to getting rid of it. I want my counter space back. So I have been packing up not the medium flat rate boxes, mind you, the large flat rate boxes full of product, Stampin' Die bundles, stamps and punches, solo stamps, embossing folders, loan sets of dies, literally everything, paper, ribbon, embellishments, all the things, card kits, etc., etc. These boxes are packed full of all kinds of good stuff for you. And I have 10 of them listed on the Stampin' Chicks group on Facebook. So I believe, let me just try to grab the link here for you guys. And I will put it down in, there it is, down in the chat for you. So regardless of where you're watching from, you'll be able to click the link, head over to the Facebook group. There it is posted for you. And request to join the group if you're not already in my group. The group is not super active, like you're not going to get bombarded with a whole bunch of posts or anything, but you will see the 10 mystery stamping or mystery boxes listed, and each of them have their number. So you'll see the post with a graphic that looks the same as all the others, but on the graphic it will say mystery box number 1, number 2, number 3, etc. Once you go there, you can comment which one you want to purchase, and you're purchasing a drawing entry. So I've got each one of them set up with only 10 spaces available. So your odds are 1 in 10, which is absolutely amazing. And each spot is $20. So, I mean, you stand to win a $500 box, $600 box for $20. Absolutely amazing. So anyway, I do have one of them here with me that I'm going to show you, and it's not totally full yet. I was working on it this afternoon, but I want to show you guys what's in there already. It's almost full, but it's got a little bit more space. So I'm going to see what else I can cram into the box. Okay. All right. So that being said, Celebration is winding down. We have this evening and tomorrow to place those Celebration orders and earn those rewards. And the last handful of hours to get the starter kit promotion with the 2 full stamp set, or the 2 full marker bundles at $35 value a piece, plus an exclusive stamp set on top of $125 worth of your choice of products, which is absolutely amazing. So anyway, let me go ahead and turn the camera around so we can get started. I'm going to show you the mystery box right now, and then I'll show you the bundle that we're going to be playing with tonight, okay? All right, here we go. And just a quick shift of the camera. All right. Okay, so as I said, the box is the large box, and it looks like it's going to give me fits on being able to show the whole thing. So let me see if I can, Well, let me just pull everything out and show you, okay? Anyway, it is indeed the large box. It's, what are the measurements on this thing? 12 by 12 by 5.5. It's actually 12 and a quarter by 12 and a quarter by 6 on the size of the box. So it's huge. And right now already it's heavy as all get out. So the wonderful thing about using these flat rate boxes, of course, is that no matter how much stuff I pile in here, as long as it fits, it ships for the same flat rate. And so when you head over to the Stampin' Chicks group on Facebook, the link is in the chat below. You'll be able to see the 10 different mystery boxes. And I'm not going to tell you which one this one is, because that would defeat the purpose of the mystery box. However, I will tell you that this one in particular is Christmas themed. So I've got 3 packages of Designer Series paper, a package of Love Santa treat bags. We've got 3 rolls of ribbon here, and all of this is still brand new. Some of the items in your mystery box will be brand new, having never been used. Some of the items will be like gently used stamp sets. Some of the items will be partial packages of paper, or treat holders or boxes or whatever, but all of it will still be absolutely fabulous and usable, right? So you will get a full box of goodies, okay? All right, we've got some Snowfall Accents puff paint, some little adhesive sequins, 2 packages of loose holly gems and sequins, box of sequins for everything. I think that was like a $30 box by itself. We've got a package of Warm Wishes cards and envelopes. That's pretty cool. And a package of embellishments, some classic gift card envelopes, Santa Express, Memories and More card pack. All of this stuff is still brand new. Actually, I think everything in this particular box, except maybe the stamp sets, are absolutely brand new. So we've got Tidings of Christmas 6x6 DSP, metallic and shimmer 6x6 DSP. I'm still going. I've got a package of very vanilla envelopes, winter knit 3D embossing folder, delicate edges dies, delicate ornament thinlits dies, and that's not even touching the stamps and dies that are in here. So you can see we've got wishes all around stamp and die bundle, festive flurry stamp set, carols of Christmas stamp set, bright and beautiful stamp set, and Northern Hearts stamp set. So as you can see, we've got the Christmas theme going on here, and oh my gosh. And like I said, it's not totally packed full just yet. So I will see what else I can get crammed into this box. But just know that each of the boxes that you will be in the drawing for are all going to be, they're all going to be full of goodies. Okay. So lots of good stuff in there, a few $100s worth of product to be had. And like I said, you can do it with a $20 entry on the Stampin' Chicks group. Okay, so let me put these away. And you can see, like I said, it's not totally full yet. It's almost there, but not totally. So I think I can fit some more stuff in here. So I will definitely be doing that before I close it up. And all of the boxes are packed full like that. Okay, so you're definitely going to be getting a really good box. All right. So I got some new product in, and this product is online exclusive product that will be going live, I believe the 5th of March. It's either the 3rd or the 5th. I'm pretty sure it's the 5th. And so this is product that's not yet available to customers. However, it is available to Stampin' Up! Demonstrators for pre-order. And if you do sign up for the starter kit like today or tomorrow, you can actually go ahead and put this item in your starter kit if you want to. So that's something to think about. All right, I have a stamp set, I have dies, and we have beautiful layering masks. I am absolutely in love with this sort of thing. I love it when Stampin' Up! Does this because generally speaking, the masks work really well with the stamps, which also work really well with the dies. It's just an incredible thing. And it really gives you an amazing look, right? So as I mentioned, it's brand new. I haven't used it yet. I haven't even opened it yet. As you can see, I'm just now getting it. So let's pull everything out and see what we've got. Okay, let's start with the masks here because I've got those. All right. Now, when I got this, I was really excited because I love hydrangeas, and I have this beautiful hydrangea plant in my front yard, and I absolutely love it. So when I saw that, and I went, "Ooh, I gotta do that. I gotta see how it works." Okay, here's how it goes, and it looks like, and this is very cool. It looks like we have masks for both of the flowers, so that's even better. I didn't realize that. Again, I just opened it. Okay, so with these decorative masks that layer, they're really cool because they all have this notch right here. So if you look at it like that, you can see that notch, right? And the notch lines up, as you can tell, it's the same on every single one of the masks, right? And they're all numbered. So I'm sure that you can't see it, or maybe you can, but it's right underneath the notch there. Yeah, I don't think I can get the light to reflect just right. But anyway, just trust that there's a number there. All right, so this is number 1. And you can see that's our shadow. So that's going to be our backfill. This is going to be the back layer of everything. And then we have number 2, which is going to give us a little more depth in the color of the flowers. So this is going to give us more of the individual flower backgrounds. And then number 3 is going to give us all of those really pretty shaded areas that are going to give us some nice contrast and some really beautiful dimension on our flowers. And of course, you could see it also on these ones as well. And then on this set, so you have 6, no, you have 5. Okay. On this set, you can tell we're doing just the leaves. So again, there's our little foundation. And then here is our shadows and texture. Okay. And we should, let me take a look here. It should line up perfectly with the stamp. Let me turn it around because it's reversed on there just now. And yes, okay, do you see that? So what that means is we can stamp the outline in black or whatever, and then we can add our layers of color. Okay, so let's go ahead and what I'll say, assemble the stamp set right quick. What I like to do is I take the photopolymer stamps off of the thicker acetate sheet and I put them directly onto the inside of my stamp case. And then if the stamp set has a coordinating dies, I will put a magnetic sheet on this side and put my dies in there. And that way I have all of my stamps and dies all together. They never get lost and it's easy peasy, right? Okay, so while I'm chatting here and just putting all of my little stamps on, is that a little butterfly? I don't know what that is. That's, oh, I see. It's a little color in here. Okay, so there are some really tiny little images right there, right there. So I'm thinking that those are probably accent deals on the flowers themselves. Okay. I really like the sentiments in this bundle as well. I like the mixed fonts, which is always good. And, you know, it's just so pretty. And I love the words that are on the sentiments for these ones. Hey, Jenny, how are you doing? Oh, yeah, I'm telling you, I absolutely love doing my bundles this way. And I do my photopolymer ones this way as well. Slight variation, of course, because they don't have this plastic piece. But I also put my dies on this side with a magnet. And then I'm going to take this lighter sheet and I'm going to put it back over the top just like that. Okay. Now, my friend Sherry, she puts her stamps on the back as well. You know, it's kind of what they meant for us to do when they printed the images for us like this. But she doesn't keep this little clear plastic sheet here because, you know, I mean, in reality, it is kind of in the way if you're pulling a stamp out, putting it back, etc., whatever. But I have dogs. And even though I don't let them in the studio They are in the room right next to the studio. Sometimes they do get in here, and even if they didn't, I inevitably carry dog hair, wherever I go. So occasionally there could be a hair or something, that gets on it. Plus, dust and things like that, like you can see on my little silicone mat. Just life in general, they just get a little dusty, and I like them to stay clean and beautiful. So that's why I keep that little plastic coating on there. All right, now let me see here. Let me grab a magnet sheet. So I've had folks ask me about the magnet sheets. Where do I get them? All of that sort of thing. I was getting them at Walmart in the craft section. They have a 2-pack of this size, or it's just slightly bigger. They have a 2-pack for $1.97, and they work great. They're really heavy duty and they're nice, but I go on Amazon and I buy a box of 30 that are 8 by 10, or they're 8 by 10. And then I cut them down to 7 by 10. So I cut 1-inch strip off the long edge. And then I have 2 5 by 7 pieces that I've got left from that one sheet. And I find that that's cheaper per sheet. And because I use a lot of them, I do this with absolutely all of my bundles. I don't typically buy just a stamp set if it has a matching die set with it. So I just put that piece in just like that. So as you can see, took the backing off. There it is. You can save the backing if you wanted to use it for like a place to put stickers or anything with adhesive backing on it temporarily, like to set it beside you. I have a silicone mat, so I can put my stuff directly on my mat right on my workspace. But if you don't have that, you can use this to put those things on and they won't stay stuck. So like this is a piece that I have sitting up here at the top of my mat. I had stamped it for something. I didn't use it, but it already had adhesive, so I just left it there. But I can put it on this and it'll sit and not permanently stick to something, and then you can peel it back off. So that's just a little quick tip for you as well. You obviously don't need 100 of them, but if you happen to need one, that's a good way to use it. All right, now I'll take my dies, and I know I'm going through this process of setting up this bundle, but just stick with me for a bit. Let me get this set up, and then we'll get to playing with those, playing with the masks and our stuff here, okay? So let me get my mind wrapped around it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, here we go. So I just put my dies in however I can get them to fit. I don't necessarily have a rhyme or reason as far as that goes. I just want to make sure that I can get everything, obviously, on the board here. Okay, not too bad. Let's see if we get as lucky with this one. Sometimes it takes a little bit of finagling with these dies. I'm not going to lie with you. Sometimes we have a lot of dies and it's kind of like be a Jenga master in order to get them all on the panel. But 9 times out of 10, I am actually able to get them all in here. On the rare occasion that I can't, I'm trying to remember which one it is. I'm not sure which one it is, but it had it's the butterfly bundle. It's the butterfly bundle. It has a whole bunch of the butterfly dies, and then it has another die that's the size of a card front that makes the die cut card front. And so I have just that piece left on the board and just sitting in the case like that. So that's how I would do it. Okay, and then I like to take this piece out and I'll grab my pen and I'm going to put that it includes 12 dies. And this way I can keep track, you know, when I have classes and such, I can count my dies, make sure I'm not missing anything. I like to keep up with my stuff really well. So I want to make sure that everything stays together and that I don't lose it, right? So I put 12 dies on the spine, and that way when it's sitting on my stamp shelf, I can see that that stamp set has dies with it, right? And then I also go ahead and put this piece right there so that that tells me the name and the item number of the dies, right? And then that's what I do, and I put this on my shelf, okay? Now for this one in particular, because it has those decorative masks, I will also put those inside the box if I can. If I can't, then, and I should have put a little note here that it has a mask with it, I will set it in my bin right beside my stamp so that it's still close by, but that way I know that it has masks with it as well. All right, let's go ahead and start playing because that's enough of that and we want to get to the fun stuff, right? Okay, I'm going to bring out some basic white cardstock. This is cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4, which, as you know, is a standard card front. And we'll do just a little bit of coloring so that you can see how it all works, okay? Let's see. Mama San is here. Yeah, I did get a much needed nap today. I really was tired. Like I said, I got up really, really early. And so yeah, about 2 o'clock or so, 2:30, I was done. All right, I want to go ahead and stamp the flower base. I'm going to do both of the flowers so that we can see them, okay? And there we go. All right, now we are using photopolymer stamps, so it's a good idea to have some kind of a pierce mat or a semi-solid surface. This could be a thick magazine or a phone book or a paperback book, whatever. Okay, it helps just give a really good, clean impression with your images. All right. Hi, Miss Debbie. How are you, love? Let's see. She says, you haven't ever had issues with dies warping with the magnet adhered. I leave mine loose. So everything, oh, you do everything else the same. So I believe what you're talking about is when you use your dies, sometimes the machine will slightly warp the die so that it's not actually laying totally flat on the magnet. So right now these are brand new. They've never been used. So they are stuck like glue almost to the magnet. They'll be kind of a pain to get off of here for a bit. But as you use them, sometimes they get the tiniest little bit of bow to them or a little bit of a curve. All I do, Debbie, is so like if this one were that way, I would take it and just kind of give a little pressure to the center of it to kind of bend it back and then lay it flat and see if that fixed it. You want to be really careful with that, and it really doesn't take much effort, just the tiniest little bit, okay? But that's what I do, and that sets them right again. You don't have to do that. Obviously, like you said, you can leave them loose I can't, as you could see, I had to put that together before I could even play with it. So it's my own personal issues. But yeah, you can definitely leave them loose. Okay, what I want to do is I want to just put them pretty well in the center. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, but I'm going to keep it on there just for a second because it's white and we're doing an outline, and I just want the ink to soak in and give me a good crisp line outline, which we have there. So you can see, very nice. All right, and then let me bring in another sheet. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing with our hydrangea. Okay. All right. And bring it back up in the camera here. I'm going to have to see if I can move that camera up a bit. It's bonkers. All right. There we go. Oh, is it nice out where you are, Debbie? We had absolutely gorgeous weather here today. It was stunning. I went out with the dogs for a little while and let them run and play, and they were enjoying it too before we all came in and took a little nap. You know, just like children, let them run and play and wear out and then come in and take a nice little nappy nap. All right, so we've got our two flowers here now. I'm going to bring this one back in since it's the first one we stamped. And what I want to do, grab my things here. Okay, now I am not going to be a good example of using the notch and lining things up because I detest wasting paper. So what I will be doing is lining it up and praying that I know what I'm doing. Okay. So the good thing is that I get it right about 95% of the time. The bad news is that there's that other 5% that may be a little bit wonky, but that's okay because there are no mistakes in paper crafting, only room for embellishment, right? All right, now I can tell I'm putting my eyeballs on so that I can see better. Posh just had a root canal. Oh, friend, I am so sorry. I hope you feel better real soon. Those are no fun. Okay, it's time for a this or that. Are y'all ready? Okay, for those who have never been on Think Tank Thursday before, Think Tank Thursday is a little bit different than most live stream video sessions that you're used to. With Think Tank Thursday, it's very interactive. So I will be looking in the comments for you guys to let me know which option, this or that you choose, and the majority wins. So as folks start calling in which option they choose, I'll let it go for just a minute, and then I'll go by that, whichever one is the most popular. Okay, so it's time to choose colors. All right. For this one, I'm going to give you the option of Misty Moonlight or Fresh Freesia for the flowers. Okay, so are we doing blue or purple for the flowers? All right, so comment and let me know. Are we doing blue or purple for the flowers? And while you guys are deciding that, I think I'm going to grab just one more shade of each That way we can get that multi-level shading and it'll be beautiful. Hey, Miss Sherry T, how are you, darling? I haven't seen you around in forever. Hey, Miss Tracy, how are you, love? Thanks for coming in, everybody. All right, I'm seeing purples. Okay, so with the purple, we have options. We have two options. So, ooh, and then we got a whole bunch of blue coming right out the gate. Doggone. All right, let's see. Wow, we've got a lot of folks in here tonight. Thank you all so much for coming. Cheryl's here. Hello. All right, let's see. Melissa's here. Hello, darling. Excuse me. Okay, I see. It looks like blue is the winner, actually. All right, then. I got you. That's wonderful. Okay, now. Not that one, please. Not that one. All right. For the blue, we're going to use Misty Moonlight and Boho Blue. Okay. Now, we're going to start out doing the Boho Blue because it's the nice light background color. All right. So we want to make sure we get that on there first. I'm going to grab my blending brush. Okay. And if you don't know how to use the blending brushes, they are so much fun. You're absolutely going to love it. Let me grab one of these crazy pieces of paper that have artistically created backgrounds on them. I know Sherry's in here and she loves those things. But all I'm doing is I'm focusing on this, okay? So don't let all of my crazy color background mess with your brain, but it's just scrap paper, okay? All right, what I have done is, as I mentioned, I'm not actually using the notch to line it up. I am just lining my stencil up, or my mask rather, with the stamped image itself, okay? Now, you wouldn't necessarily be able to do this as easily if you didn't have that stamped image background already done. It may look a little off and it may be hard to line up, but when you have the outline done, definitely helps, okay? So don't worry about not lining up the notch when you have the stamped image, okay? All right, you notice that I tapped off just a little bit with my brush. That's just to get any kind of scratchy, rough edges off. I'm going to be careful about right here and over here because it's on the paper and I don't want to get ink everywhere else. I just want ink on my flowers, okay? So I'm going to start right here on the plastic part. And I'm going to go in a circular fashion like that. All right. There we go. And of course, as I said, being very careful around those edges because I don't want to get blue all over my card piece. I just want it on the flowers. And also bear in mind, this is really, really light, but if I want to add more color, I always can. It's better to apply your color light and add more than it is to get a little overzealous and add too much color up front and then have it too dark, okay? So we can keep kind of swirling around a little bit here, and that will give us a nice color. And I'm still going to keep it kind of light because we do also still have another layer with the flowers. They have 3 layers to them, okay? So I've got the background in the balmy blue or the boho blue, okay? And I'll set this one off to the side. I'm going to keep the boho blue and do this piece, and I'm going to line it up. Now, this is where you may struggle with lining it up. You're going to have to kind of look at your pieces here and figure out how you need them to go. Generally speaking, if I were to have put a tick mark right here, I should be able to line this edge up with that and it would match, okay? So just kind of eyeball where it is, roughly guesstimate the order or the position of your paper, and we'll be ready to go again, okay? So I've got it down where I think it's going to go. I'm going to give it just a little tap there, and then I'm going to come in a bit heavier with the same color, okay? So that was balmy blue done lightly. Now I'm coming in a bit darker with my balmy blue. And you can see how much of a difference there is, right, between the lighter and the more rich detail and color, okay? So we're going to get a really pretty flower here, I believe. I think we're going to love it. All right, there's that one. Let me get some more ink here. Okay, and I'm really working it in on this layer because I want that color to be quite a bit darker than the background. Nice circular motions is all you need. Okay. And then when I pull it off, you're going to see a big difference already. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Oh, I love it. Okay. Now I'm coming in one more time. And this one, this one will be the hardest of all to line up because this one is literally just going to be some little accent spots. So if it looks like you can pick it out pretty good, great. If not, don't worry too much. With this being the shadowy parts on the flower, you don't have to worry about it too much. Okay. I am going to check to make sure that all of the spots line up on the flowers themselves. So I think that's pretty good. I'm checking to make sure each of the little openings are inside of the flower design itself, okay? Because obviously there wouldn't be any little accents on the outside of the flower. Okay, so I'm just kind of tweaking it a little bit there. I think that's pretty good. All right, now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and use the same blending brush because Boho and Misty Moonlight are in the same color thread, whatever. So they're basically light and darker of very similar colors. And then again, tap off. And this time you can go as dark as you like or as light as you like. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to do it pretty dark though. I want it to have a really bold shadow there. Okay. Remember, as I said, I'm staying away from the edges as well as I can to make sure that I don't accidentally rub some color onto the background. All right, I think, let's do a little bit more right there. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So now, boom. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. You've got all of your shading and highlighting all at the same time, and it's absolutely gorgeous. All right, now then, for the green, we're going to use Old Olive and Moss Meadow. I think that richer green is more what we want, so we're going to do that. Let me grab my... And I actually have two different brushes for this one, not because you necessarily need it, but Misty Moonlight or Mossy Meadow is quite a bit darker. So, okay. Again, with our pieces, we've got two separate ones for the leaves. And you can see that the one doesn't have any detail at all, and the other one has all the detail. Okay, so the one that doesn't have the detail is the one that you want to line up first. That's our background. So we're going to just line it up with the stamped image. Okay. Right about there. And we got to worry about right here and here. I like to point that out as much for myself as for you. I will smooth forget and be all like, do, color everything green, and then I'll have a partial leaf over here. All right. Here we go. Again, we're going to tap off a little bit, double check just to be sure, and light circular motion. The wonderful thing about these masks is just like with the flower, the leaf masks kind of work around the image as well. Okay, so if one part of the leaf is meant to be behind the flower, then it won't even have an opening here. And if there's a section of flower, I'm seeing like right here, there's a little section of flower that's kind of on the edge of the leaf, and right here as well. And so the mask covers the flower edge up so that you're only getting the part that's supposed to be leaf showing. All right, we're going to add a little bit darker. Okay. Just a little bit darker. And I'm actually not trying to make it as uniform on the leaves as I did on the flowers, because I feel like that helps with the texture and dimension of leaves, because they're, even one leaf is not a solid color. And you can see I could stop there and totally be done. And it's absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? The wonderful thing about these is, you know, we're looking at this going, ooh, that's perfectly colored, and she didn't color outside the lines. Isn't that amazing? So naturally, now you completely understand, right? Why I love when Stampin' Up! Does these mask die bundles. I love it. It's like being able to say, I colored inside the lines perfectly. It's wonderful. It's so much fun. And plus, it is actually more fun, I think, to color this way. All right, folks, I'm sorry. I'm taking little sips of water. I've still got a little bit of a scratchy throat, so I don't want to be coughing in your ears because that's distracting. Okay. I'm sucking down as much of the vitamin C as I can, because On Stage is coming up, and not only do I obviously not want to miss it, but I also don't want to come homesick either. So, you know, everybody's getting that crud going around, and, you know, Stampin' Up! Conferences are a lot of people together, and of course we're hugging and being excited about seeing each other in person again. So I want to try really hard not to get sick. Okay. I'm going to put away the old olive, bring in the mossy meadow, and bring up some color. Double, triple check again. This time I'm going to have to tap off there. Okay. And then now I can make this even darker. Okay. So I'm coming in and just making it as dark as I can get it. You see what happens when you don't tap it off first? I thought I'd be slick and just tap it off on that plastic. All right, there we go. Okay, and look at that. I love it. Okay, so if I hadn't already convinced you that this is the greatest invention ever by being able to color inside the lines, surely that flower is convincing you that it is absolutely spec-freaking-tacular, right? Okay, and now, in the words of the late great, what's his name, television advertiser, but wait, there's more. Mama San, you're still here. I know you know what his name was. Billy Mays, that was it. Billy Mays, is that right? I think that's right. Okay, we have a die that lines up perfectly and cuts out that gorgeous flower. All right, so let me do that right quick. I think his name was Billy Mays. Now I'm questioning myself. Can somebody confirm for me? I gotta know. It's gonna drive me bonkers if I don't know now. Y'all know how I am. Y'all know. Okay. Here we go. Putting the die in the machine. Crank, crank, crank. All right. Are you ready for this moment of truth? So pretty. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? I love it. I love it. All right. Are you guys ready to do the hydrangea? And then once we get them done, we're going to do a little quick card. Okay. All right. So we've done the, is this what kind of flower is this? Like a Rose of Sharon, maybe? I don't know. Miss Sherry, is Mama Betty doing any better? Maybe she knows. She's the flower queen. All right, let me set that off to the side, and I'm going to bring in my hydrangea. I'm not going to worry about wiping these off. I tried to make sure I didn't just lay them directly on top of each other so that they didn't get ink all over the back sides and thus getting it all over my image. Let's see here. All right. We have, oh, look at me go. Almost perfect right off the bat. That literally never happens. And just as I was looking at it thinking, oh, this is going to take forever to line up. All right. Okay, I have that on. And I think what I'm wanting to do with the hydrangeas is my hydrangeas are a little bit of pink, blue, purple, and a little bit of green kind of mixed in together. They're very pretty. And so we're going to see if we might be able to somewhat replicate my hydrangeas, okay? So I'm going to bring in I'm going to bring in soft sea foam, and I want to use a little bit of Pretty in Pink. Okay. And I'll also use a little Fresh Freesia and maybe a tiny bit of that Boho Blue. So we're going to try this and see how well it works. Now, this is going to be interesting because we're stepping things up exponentially here, okay? No longer are we going to just color the whole piece with the one brush with the one color. Now, we're actually going to add in colors in various spots. We'll see how it goes. I may regret it, but you know what? We'll see. It's just paper. And that's something I really want to express with everybody too. You know, I have so many folks have said, "Oh, I want to do this or I want to do that, but I'm afraid to mess it up." What are you afraid of? It's like 2 pennies worth of paper here, right? So don't worry about it. Paper is so easy. It's not a big deal. It'll be okay. All right, I'm just looking for some blending brushes to use here. I've got the blue for the Boho Blue. I'll use that one, maybe a little bit on the darker side, but that's okay. That seafoam is really light. And then a Fresh Freesia. Okay. All right, now I am going to go ahead and put the sea foam down first, I think, because it is really, really pale. And so I'm going to put it over the whole thing. So this will be the only one that we'll do the whole thing on, okay? All right, I got my piece there. Got to be careful of my edge right there. I'm actually not worrying about making it even. Very similar to when I was doing the leaves, because, you know, the varying shades of the green, and then there'll be pink and everything else on here. So I'm not worried about matching the intensity of color here, okay? All right, that is pretty darn good. We'll see. We may be wrong. We may be in for a hurting here. So we'll see how it goes, right? We'll see. It's just paper. All right. So first and foremost, of course, we have that piece, which is beautiful. All right, and then we have mask number 2 here, and this one we will get a bit more into the multiple colors. So I'm just lining it up. Okay. These things are so finicky too. If you move them just a micromillimeter too far, you're like, wait a minute, it was just lined up. So it's kind of crazy. All right. There we go. All right, now I want to bring in a bit of my pink. There it is. I love hydrangeas. They're probably one of my all-time favorite flowers. How about y'all? What are your favorite flowers? Do you guys have some favorite flowers? Yeah, that's looking exactly like my flowers. They have such a pretty multi-tonal look to them. Oh, I can't wait to see how this looks. What's your favorite flower, friends? Let me know in the comments. Now you see how I'm kind of dodging around with the pink. Remember I had said I'll be doing that with the next layers because, you know, my flowers are multi-tonal. Okay. While I have this one, nope, I'm going to leave that and that'll be done. Oh, that's pretty. That is so pretty. All right. Now my last one is the shadow and highlight, and I'm going to do a mix of the boho blue and fresh freesia with this one. Okay. All right. Now, as I mentioned, of course, this one's a little more challenging to line up, but that's okay. We'll get there. Ooh, that's got to go that way a little bit more. There we go. Those edges, man, I'm telling you, crazy. All right, that's pretty good. Okay, now let me do some fresh freesia first. Okay. Oh, yeah. That's pretty. Uh-oh, am I not seeing comments anymore? Hold on. Ah, there you are. Oh, my goodness. Something happened to my chat. All of a sudden, the comments were gone, and holy cow. Let's see here. Oh gosh, yeah, I've missed a lot of them. I'm so sorry. Sherry says she's been busy with the grandbabies. Nice to be here. I'm so glad that you're able to be back with us, love, and glad that you got to spend time with the grandbabies too. Sherry, what are you saying you can't about? Jenny says it's so cute. Thank you very much. Tracy says it's two of her favorites. Yeah, these are absolutely gorgeous. Melissa, girl, you had to know. You had to know coming in here. She says now she's got to get this bundle. Yes, it is absolutely stunning. All right, Cheryl says beautiful. Sherry Gray, beautiful. I love the set. Tracy Smith, yep, that's him. I'm assuming that's on the Rose of Sharon. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Jenny says peony. You know what? Actually, is the this one, is that hydrangea or is it peony? It may, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna have to find out though. All right. Oh, tell him thank you, Mama San, if you're still on the phone with them. Sherry's got a lot of favorite flowers, all of them. Any flower is her favorite, she says. Yeah, absolutely. Tracy's are daylilies, orchids. Brenda's stargazer lilies. Sherry says, oh, that background paper. Oh, yeah. Billy Mays. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I couldn't place, I could see him, I can see the dark hair, the flannel shirt, and the pointing and excited, and I just couldn't get his name out there. But yes, that's it. Billy Mays. He was so cool. Okay, I'm leaving this on. I'm not taking the mask off because remember, I'm going to come back in just a little bit with that boho blue. Okay, so this is the final mask, and I want to make sure that I add just a little bit of boho blue in there. Okay. Okay, very good. All right, now with this one, I kind of want to just, and I'm also trying really hard not to make a marbly, goopy mess, because we're mixing color over color, and that's not really how it goes out in the flower bush. It's more each petal having a variegation of its own colors. So we're going to try to be really careful here and not get too crazy with it just to see. All right, so here we go. Beautiful. I think what I'm going to do though is, because and this is a great way to show you how much of the background gets left by the other layers, I'm going to go back in and add pink to that. Hey Estrada, how are you, darling? We're doing some really cute masking with a brand new Stampin' Die and mask bundle today. It'll go live for everybody mid next week, I believe. Okay, let's bring in that pretty in pink one more time. And I just want to tone down a little bit of that green because that is a little bit much. It's a little much. Okay. Yeah, just bring it in, tone it down a bit. There we go. That's looking a little better. Yeah, there we go. That's nice. That's better. Okay, so there we go. Let's get our leaves done, shall we? Oh, so pretty. This is literally and truly, if I ever ask you, if it's ever a trivia question for the Stampin' Chick, Dana Sullivan, it is that this is my absolute favorite of Stampin' Up! Products, is when they have the decorative masks that match the stamps and dies. Okay, just so you know. Oh. Estrada, you're killing me. She says it could use some stickles. And actually, she is right. It would be very pretty. Let me get it stamped out and or colored and die cut out first, and then we'll maybe grab some stickles, okay? All right. There we go. We've got that lined up. Now let me bring in again with the Old Olive. We're starting with that lighter shade first. Okay. I've got to watch this edge and this edge. You're too close to that edge, girl. You just said watch that edge. Here I go, all like, whoop. Crazy. Okay. And just like I did with the other one, I'm not going to make it all uniform in the shading. I'm going to go ahead and leave it because leaves have a bit more character than just being solid colors, right? Okay. Now let me bring this one in and line it up. There we go. Okay. And oh, Estrada, Jenny says, what's a stickle? Oh, girl, stickles are basically glitter glue that dries not sticky, basically. They're very sparkly and beautiful. Their texture, so it's not like Wink of Stella. Wink of Stella is just flat little sparkle liquid. This is actually more like a gel, and it adds texture, and it dries semi-flat, but it still has a bit of texture. But it is definitely more pronounced in texture than Wink of Stella. It also takes a while to dry, as you can imagine, which is one reason why I don't usually bother with it too much. But Estrada does some really pretty things with it. And I mean, there really are a lot of things that you can do. Okay, so here we go with our hydrangea. I'm going to go ahead and get that hideous background out of Sherry's way. And I'm going to bring in the dye that matches. Look at that. Is that not absolutely amazing? Okay. Oh, I'm just now seeing some other thing. Okay. All right. Let me line this up and we'll cut it out and then we'll stickle this bad boy. Okay. All right. Okay, so I've got one there and one over here. All right. And voila. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. Now then, let me set that off to the side for just a minute. I am not throwing these away. So laugh at me all you want, Sherry Gray. But I am not throwing this away because I'm actually going to use this as a skinny background layer. So I will show you that here in just a minute. Okay. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to grab my stickles. Okay. Yeah, I could use those as stencils, Estrada. You're absolutely right. Okay, this is a stickle. Stickles is a brand. It's from Ranger Company. It's this kind of like glitter glue. Okay. I have a different one here that's called Stamp Effects Glitter Glue from Scrappy Cat. I've had it for a little while now. And the glitter in this one is, I don't know that it's as fine as the Stickles, but it's got a little bit more of a green tone to it, where this one has more of a golden tone to it. So let's see here. Sherry says she's going to emboss hers and then use the dimensionals to put it back in the negative. That's a wonderful idea, actually. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one because it's got, oh, well, it's ready to go. It's oozing out. Okay. Well, maybe I better wipe that off. That was bad, friend. That was so bad. You should not do that to me. Okay. All right. So what I can do is just kind of dabble them on a bit. And I don't really put it on too thick. I'm not trying to be crazy with it, but it'll dry relatively flat. I just want to put a little color in here. It will give it a little bit of texture though. Like I said, it's not the same as Wink of Stella. This is actually a gel, so it will have a bit of texture to it. Wink of Stella is very soft and fine, and it's like spreading metallic eyeshadow on paper. It's very, very soft and there's no texture to it, but this has a bit of texture. Okay, here we go. Now, Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell stickles, so I can tell you that you can find stickles at pretty much any of the big box hobby stores. Michael's, Joann's, if you've got anything left of them, Hobby Lobby, Amazon, you can find them anywhere. And they're only a few bucks a bottle. They're really inexpensive, and you know, it doesn't take much, so they'll last you a long time. All right. So there's the stickles. As you can see, or maybe you can't, my piece is starting to bow just a little bit from the stickles, from the liquid of them, but it'll be fine once it's dry. So I will set this aside, and this particular piece is not going to be done. It's not going to be dry by the time we get done with this live. I'm going to put this piece over here behind me on the shelf so I don't get it everywhere. And we're going to create a card with that Rose of Sharon. Okay. All right. Let me put these down. And so if we talk about products that are not Stampin' Up, stickles come in absolutely incredible colors. I actually don't have very many of them anymore. I used to have a whole bunch before I started doing Stampin' Up pretty well full time. So I had all kinds of different products. There really are actually a billion different kinds of products out there that Stampin' Up! Doesn't carry. And I've been kind of struggling with this for a little bit because, in fact, I think Estrada, maybe you and I have chatted about this. You know, with Stampin' Up, I keep wanting to just show things made with Stampin' Up! Products, obviously, because, you know, this is my business. And of course, I want you to be in love with the products. I want you to buy the products from me, et cetera, et cetera. But I also have been an avid paper crafter for decades. I'm not going to say like how old I am, but for a long while, a hot minute, eons even. And there are a lot of really cool products that we just don't carry and are absolutely incredible and so much fun to play with. So Stickles, the glitter glue, okay. Nuvo drops. These are like Stampin' Up's enamel dots. Okay, so these are liquid dots that you can put dimension on products or projects, etc. Very much like Stampin' Up's enamel dots, so or drops. So that's what those are. And then this is just another type of them. This one's a little more matte finish instead of a glossy type of finish. So just some really cool things that you can use to add texture and interest. And then, of course, if you start talking about all the things, then you talk about Tim Holtz distress inks and crackle paints and all kinds of really cool stuff that you can use for some like junk journaling and scrappy type projects, right? I always thought that Stampin' Up's products or projects are really kind of clean and streamlined, and they're great, but there's so much out there. All right, let me grab my paper right quick, and I need Misty Moonlight. Misty Moonlight. All right, friends, I need a this or that answer. Are we doing our card base in boho blue or Misty Moonlight? Okay. I love a good monochromatic card, and that's what we're going to do. So, are we doing our card in boho blue or Misty Moonlight? Now, keep in mind, we're going to use both colors, okay? I just need to know about the card base. All right? So, which color are we going to use for the card base? Light blue, boho blue, or Misty Moonlight? Okay, let me know. You're glad to hear me say what, Tracy, that there's all kinds of other stuff out there, or that Stampin' Up is more clean and streamlined? Both are true. Both are true, aren't they? Okay. All right. I'm seeing Misty Moonlight as a unanimous vote for the card base. Okay, very good. Well, that's wonderful because I believe I've got a card base right here. Okay. Let me just double check that this is indeed an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock. 8.5, 5.5. All right, we'll score it at 4 1/4. Okay. There we go. All right, and then we have this layer here. And now I'm gonna do boho blue. And I don't think that one's wide enough. I mean, it could be, but okay, it could be. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. This one is needs to be 3.5. That's 4, not 4 1/4. Hold on, doing some maths here. 4 by 5 1/4. I would like it to be 3 3/4 by 5. However, this piece is a little over 3.5. So it's going to be 3.5 by 4 3/4. All right, because we're using what we already got rather than making a new piece. Okay. So now I want to cut that just a sliver so that it's actually the 3.5. Okay. Sharing a variety of paper crafting products while supporting the quality of Stampin' Up. Yes, absolutely. So, for the most part, for the last few years, at the very least on my Facebook and YouTube videos like this, I tend to stick primarily with Stampin' Up! Products. However, I've really been missing all of the other things that we can use that are not replacing Stampin' Up! Products, but are complementing them very well. So some of the things that I do not fudge on are Stampin' Up's inks and their papers. I do not fudge on those things at all, ever, because you cannot beat Stampin' Up's paper and ink. Okay, you just can't. That being said, Tim Holtz Distress Inks and those things, actually, all of Tim Holtz inks are incredible as well, and they do a totally different thing than what Stampin' Up! Inks do. So I feel really confident in sharing that information as well, because they are totally different. Okay, now then, I want to do another white layer here. So this one's 3.5 by 4 3/4. So now I want to do 3 3/8 by 4 5/8. All right, 3 3/8 by 4 5/8. And I'm going to cut a piece off of here. 3 3/8 by 4 5/8. Okay. Yes, the oxides are incredible, aren't they? Estrada likes to use a little of everything as well. Yeah, it's just so much fun to use all the different things. Okay. All right. So I think what I'd like to do is put a little bit of stuff on here. So as I'm looking at the stamps, we have this cute little leaf cluster here. And we've got this, which, by the way, I don't know. It's got to be inside, like texture for the inside of the flowers. I'm thinking there's for the big one, there's for the small one, and then these are for some of these here. But I think maybe doing the leaves in Old Olive and just maybe bring them around, or maybe just the single one. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know. Are we doing a decorative edge stamped, or like Sherry suggested, embossing? Actually, I just really like to maybe put a little bit of green in here. So we could maybe emboss this layer. And this layer, I think I want to pop up. What do you guys think? Like that. And then this will also be popped up. So that'll be my 2 layers. And then I want to put a little sentiment strip here. Thankful for you, friend. Right? So the question is, do we leave it white, or do we add a little green to this layer? Okay, so next question here. Do we leave this white, or do we add a little green? And then we'll do embossing on this layer. Okay, I think that's probably the best way. All right. I know we're all lagging behind just a little bit. I'm seeing everybody coming in with embossing, and that's a great idea. We'll go ahead and emboss this layer, but are we going to add a little green, a little leaves or something to this layer, or are we not? Sorry, I didn't mean to slurp. I don't know if you caught that. Okay. Okay. Everybody else is on the same wavelength tonight. Wonderful. All right, here we go. So let me bring in this, bringing in that awful paper again. Y'all just hang tight. Okay. Little bit of Old Olive. One way that you can get a good random mishmash here, like when you're doing a background, is to turn the paper and not the stamp. Okay, so get the stamp laid out kind of how you want to, and just give the paper a little bit of a turn. And that will help you get a little more of, that kind of not even look. We don't have to worry about going too far in, because we'll go there though, just to be sure, because the center of it's going to be covered anyway. Okay. And see, by turning the paper and not the stamp, I'm able to get not, what am I trying to say, folks? What am I trying to say? Y'all know what I'm trying to say, right? You know what I'm trying to say. I don't want it to be too uniform. That's it. I'm trying to get different. There we go. Okay. Now let's see how it goes. Miss Debbie says one of her favorite things is a clear ruler from Tim Holtz. Yes. Yeah, there are some really, really cool things. Yeah, I think that's going to be perfect. It's going to add just enough. Okay. So let me take my adhesive runner. Okay. And when you're doing this, you want to put a little bit of adhesive right here on the sides of that just to help keep it down. Okay. There we go. All right. And no one will ever know that was there. It's going to be wonderful. All right. And then we're going to need something for the inside and the envelope, of course, too, right? No naked insides and no naked envelopes. And I'm going to show you how to use those stencils to decorate up your insides and envelopes as well. Okay. All right. Next question. We have the brand new Starburst embossing folder. We have the Distressed Tile embossing folder. And we have the Eyelet embossing folder. Okay. So I know there are 3 options here, but I have a feeling that we'll have more of one than any of the others. Okay. So number 1, number 2, or number 3. Okay? Number 1, number 2, or number 3. And this is going to be the layer that's right behind the flower itself. Okay. Number 1, number 2, or number 3. And I might be able to grab the flower. So you can kind of see. Okay. I've got a 1, a 3, a 1, a 3. All right, we've got a tiebreaker going on here. All right, so we've got 2 1s and 2 3s. So I'm going to pull out number 2, and you guys can still decide. Those of you who have not voted yet, we need either 1 or 3. Either 1 or 3. So this is 1, this is 3. I just took it out so that you guys are able to see the flower on it. Okay, 1 or 3. Mama San, you still in here? Give us a vote. 1 or 3. Now you girls are saying 2. Do you prefer 1 or 2? One more vote, please. 1 or 3. All right. Mama San's breaking the tie with number 3. Jenny. All right. And Tracy's back to... All right, listen, you guys. All right. We're going with 3. Actually, 2 would have been a really pretty one also. I'm certain of it. But they're all very pretty. That's yet another thing that you can't go wrong when it comes to a lot of this stuff. All right, let's see here. Where's my embossing plate? There we go. Y'all are killing me. All right, here we go. Pop goes the weasel. This will be really pretty. You guys will be happy with it, I think. All right, now then. Let me move this out of the way just a second. Okay, we have our card base. We have this layer that's going to go up on dimensionals. We have this piece that is embossed, and we need to decide if we're going to be pointing it smooth side up like that, or if it's going to be textured side up like that. Okay, so smooth side or textured side. You guys let me know. Smooth or textured. While y'all are doing that, I'm going to grab some of the frayed grosgrain ribbon, and I'm gonna get out approximately how much I need. I want to tie maybe a little knot on here, and I think maybe I want to color it. We'll see, right? Okay, so while you're deciding textured side up or down, I'm gonna go ahead and figure out my bow here, okay? Because I have an idea. It's a little more effort, but I think it'll be cool while we're doing cool things. All right. Yep. Okay, so are we doing textured side up or down? All right, I've got a couple for textured side. Okay. Okay, well, everybody's pretty well unanimous on that one. That's good. All right, so let me get this side covered. When it comes to using adhesive on the embossed layers, I always recommend putting your adhesive right to the edge and taking it down the whole piece. So that way you don't have to worry about it lifting or anything else. Now, I know that that puts a bit more adhesive on the back than maybe some of us may normally do. However, especially if we were putting the textured side down, you definitely want to put adhesive all the way to the edges and across the whole panel, because otherwise you'll get kind of like bubbles where the paper lifts, and ain't nobody wanting their paper lifting. All right, so now then, let me put this part on. Okay. And then this will go on dimensionals like that. And I think that's going to be pretty. And this is going to go on dimensionals as well. So I can go ahead and put this one on the dimensionals. Yay! Welcome back, darling. We missed you. You missed a great debate. You weren't here to be the tiebreaker, though. All right, there we go. Okay, now I want to see if my little ones will fit. Sometimes, even still, they're too small. Okay. All right. I'm not going to take the back off of these just yet because I am still working out the exact details of our design here. But I think maybe if our knot goes over here on this side, like that, and the sentiment goes up here, or We could put the knot on this side and the sentiment could go over here. Okay, so are we putting the sentiment in the top corner or the bottom corner? All right, top corner or bottom corner. While you guys are thinking on that, I'm going to go ahead and grab the sentiment and put it on a block so that we can get it stamped. Okay. So are we putting the sentiment on the top corner or the bottom corner? And maybe I should check to make sure that it'll fit. Maybe it has to go to the bottom corner now that I'm telling you guys to choose. We'll see. We'll see. I know that was kind of a mean trick, wasn't it? All right. Paper. Is that big enough? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oops. All right. Okay, next thing we got to decide if we're doing our sentiment in Misty Moonlight or Mossy Meadow. Okay. Are we doing our sentiment in blue or green? Blue or green? This will be our sentiment. Thankful for you, friend. What do you think? Blue or green for the sentiment? What do you think? Blue or green? Mossy Meadow, Misty Moonlight. There's another green. Okay. All right. I'm actually thinking that too. I think if we do the sentiment in green, then we have the ability to maybe add a little blue something to the back of the sentiment piece if we want to. Or maybe what I'm thinking about doing with the ribbon will be plenty. So I'm glad you guys chose green. All right, here we go. Tap, 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 not smush, smush, smush. I've not said that at all this whole evening. I can't get away with not doing that. I also need to re-ink my Mossy Meadow ink pad. Okay. All right. Let me trim it up. Let me trim it up. It's going to take up a whole inch. Yes, it is. Whew. All right. All right. And then I'll leave it squared for now. We can do either cut a little edge here, make dovetail. We can cut it at an angle. We have a lot of options. All right. Yeah, I think probably the bottom corner is going to have to be it. So I think this is going to have to go up a little. And then this will have to go like that. And that's actually very pretty. Okay. Now, what I'd like to do with my ribbon, and it's going to get me messy. So maybe not. Okay. Friends, help me decide. Are we leaving the ribbon white? I'm going to tie it around this piece right here into a knot over on this side. Okay. So am I going to leave it white or am I going to color it blue? Okay, let me just stick that down. Okay, here we go. So something like this. All right, are we leaving the ribbon white or are we coloring it blue? Are we leaving it white or are we coloring it blue? Okay, here's what I'm thinking I want to do. I want to set that over there, and I want to color this 2 different colors of blue. All right, bringing in that ugly paper again. I want to do dark misty moonlight. Let me put this here to see how dark I want that. Maybe not that dark. Okay. All right. I'm going to do light misty moonlight on one end. And this is the coolest thing. I love Stampin' Blends markers. And you can see it's bleeding over towards the middle. That's A-okay. I'm going to take my light boho blue and come from the other side. And we'll see how that looks. And if it's too much, then I'll use it for something else and we can do, I don't know, I think that's really pretty though. All right, what do you guys think about that? And it'll dry a bit lighter too. So even though it is a bit dark right now, once it's totally dry, it'll actually be a little bit lighter. But you can see the tone, right? You can see the color, one fading into the other. So they blend together very nicely right there in the centers. I think that's great. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and keep doing this all the way down. So give me just a minute here. Right about now is when I wish I could hit the fast forward button, but you know, it's okay. All right, while we're doing this, anybody got any good shows they've been watching? We finished the series that we were watching, so now it'll be time to find something else to binge into. So are there any good binge-worthy series to be watching? We've not started Yellowstone yet. There's so many different shows to be watching. We like a little bit of thriller and a little bit of whodunit. There was one. what was it called? Oh gosh, it was a firefighter movie or firefighter show, but it really wasn't. It started out the first couple of episodes pretty good, but then it got way more drama than anything else, and so Matthew was like, "Yeah, no." From? What is that? What is From about? And Squid Game? Okay, I'm intrigued. So this is slightly messy, of course, as you can imagine, and it gets on your fingers. So there's that, and it does use up a good bit of your Stampin' Blends markers. So I say to do this lightly with not something that you would do, all the time unless you plan to be buying new markers every little bit, okay? But it's a fun thing to do now and then. All right, let me put these away. And I'm going to let that dry for just a minute. It's alcohol ink, so it's not going to take it long, but it is saturating the ribbon. I'm going to grab my baby wipes here and wipe my fingers so I don't get any of it transferred over to our white card. I mean, it's not really a white card, but y'all know what I mean. Doc? What is Doc? Chicago Med? Yellowstone first. Heartland, yes. Heartland is really good. We watched all of that one so far. We love that show. We've started one that is it's a mini series. It's not actually a series, but it has Robert De Niro in it. I think it's called Zero, maybe, where he was an ex-president and he gets assigned a special task force or something to help find an internet terrorist type situation. I don't know. Anyway, we're just getting started on it. All right. I think that's had just enough time to dry. You see all of that cool shadow and highlighting in there. I think it's beautiful. I'm just checking to make sure that it actually is dry. We don't want to transfer color to the other spots. Now, this ribbon is an interesting ribbon because when it first came out, it was at Christmas time, and I had taken, I don't know if it was Real Red or Poppy Parade. I think it was Real Red. And I had colored along the inside, leaving the outer edges dry, right? White, because I thought that would be really cool for Christmas ribbon to have the red on the inside and the white fluffy like Santa's hat, right? And it looked absolutely gorgeous. However, after a little bit of time, the red, even after I thought it was dry, the red had still started kind of fading out into the little fringe. So we're not going to worry about that. I think it's just going to give a really nice, interesting look So we'll put this on. And I'm really struggling not to cut the ribbon in half. I really want to. From is a TV show of a group of people that get stuck in a town by oh yeah. Okay. Sorry, folks. From is a TV show of a group of people that get stuck in a town by some force thing. You can't be out too late at night because these monster things come out at night and eat you. I saw I saw the trailer for it or preview, whatever, something. Maybe when I was looking, it's on Netflix, right? Okay, so now I'm just tying my ribbon into a knot. Okay, and that actually looks like regular denim, doesn't it? That's so cool. Yeah, you explained it perfectly, darling. That is wonderful. Yeah. They look like humans and try to get you to come out, or they look like people that you might know. Yeah, so I see. Yeah, trying to lure you out, right? I gotcha. Okay, I'm going to bring that knot just a little farther over. And, oh, it's on HBO Max. Okay, gotcha. I gotcha. All right, so I'm going to put it like that, and I think that is fabulous. Now I can put my dimensionals on now that I know where my ribbon is. Okay. Okay, folks. So I'm just thinking about this just now. You guys have probably all seen that Facebook is starting to change some of the things regarding their Facebook Live storage. So any Facebook Live video is not going to be staying on Facebook forever anymore, which honestly is not really that big of a deal. It's not a big deal for me at all because I stream directly to Facebook and YouTube collectively. So every live stream video that I have on Facebook is also already on YouTube. Thank goodness for me doing that. But people don't generally watch. They don't generally watch a live stream replay because we're 2 hours into this. We're invested in designing a project. When people watch a replay, they want to be able to just see the tutorial itself, right? So anyway, I'm not too worried about it, but if you are one of my folks who are watching on Facebook Live, or you're watching this on Facebook Replay, and you happen to be one of those few amazing people who watch a 2.5 hour replay, welcome. Thank you so very much for your dedication and commitment to me and my business. I truly appreciate it and hope that you have found it worth your time to come and watch the replay. But that being said, for future reference, if you want to watch my live replays, you'll have to go over to YouTube and watch them there because they will only stay on Facebook for 30 days moving forward. After that, they will be deleted. Okay. That's not me. I'm not doing that. I don't particularly care for change, so I like things to stay the status quo unless it's bad. So I am not changing this. This is strictly Facebook. So it's okay. We'll be all right. All right. I've got my little threads cut. And let me get the backs off of these and get it put on the card. Okay, Squid Game is on Netflix. It's a Korean show. A guy walks up to people who are in desperate need of money. He plays a game with them and gives them a card to meet up at a location if they wish to play for a big cash reward. Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you, darling. So is Squid Game, is this like a TV show, a game show, or is this does this have a storyline and a plot or something? Is it a game show or a show? Show. A show, the show. Okay. I think I like this. How do you folks feel about it? And this. And we'll trim it down just a bit because even still, it's pretty stinking big. Or we can bring this up just a little bit more. Come here. There. And then, yeah, I don't like that. I like it down here. Okay. Do we like it there? Then is that good? You meet up in a secret location, play against each other. Last one alive gets the cash reward. Holy cow. Okay. That'll be interesting. I love those thriller type things, though. Sick and twisted mind of mine. Okay. Do you find it interesting how it is that generally women are the ones that have these really dark and demented minds? As I'm saying this, everyone who doesn't know me in person is going, I'm never going to any of her things ever. I live out in the country too, and it's really dark out here. Oh, sorry, I couldn't resist. Oh my gosh. That's funny. It's funny, but it's not funny. I promise I will never try to kill anyone. Okay? I promise. Okay, now then, we have our sentiment here, and already I know it's pretty big, so we've got to trim it down just a bit. I'm going to do that, and I think actually that just cutting it straight, I think will be pretty, don't you? I think that doing a straight edge, okay, or a slight little slant right here or right here. So, are we doing a straight edge or are we doing a little bit of a slant edge? And either way, I'm going to trim this down just a tiny bit because we don't need that much. Okay, so are we going to leave it a straight edge or do we want to maybe cut it at a little bit of a slant? Okay, comment and let me know. Okay, while you guys are deciding that, I'm going to really quickly show you, or as quickly as I can, show you how I would use the stencils to do your inside and envelope, okay? So let me grab an envelope, and I'm not going to do both because I will do them both the same. So I'm just going to show you on the envelope, and then just know that what I do over here is exactly what I'll do over here for the inside of the card. Okay. All right. I need my Memento ink. You can hear me tap, 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 tap. All right. We're good. It's all good. Okay. There. And for this one, I want just the flowers. Now, here's something that I'd like you guys to consider. When it comes to big stamps, okay, you can use various parts of the stamp, and this you can tell is the same, but sometimes it makes the image look totally different because the image is so big and you're taking a part for this side and a part for this side. It's a way to get a little bit more kind of, what am I trying to say? I will go ahead and stamp this on here just so that I can clean the block and the stamps and put them away. You know what I'm trying to say. You can get some variations in your images with the bigger stamps just by turning and tilting them a bit. Okay. All right, there we go. Now, I'm going to set this one aside for now, and I'm going to bring in my blues and greens again. And the wonderful thing is that at least with this one, there's only 2 of each color, right? Okay. Now, yes, this will be a little more challenging yet with regard to lining up your masks. However, it is absolutely worth it. Okay. Yes, that's it, Jenny. Variety. I want to get a variety of looks and images with the same stamp. Yes, that's exactly right. Thank you so much. Sometimes the brain don't brain quite right. Okay. Now, I'm going to be really light here. Okay. Just like we did with the flower itself. Bring this part around and look at that already. Oh my gosh, just that pop of color is amazing. I love it. All right. And then this piece right here. Okay. I got to turn the whole thing because I got to be able to hold more of the stencil. There we go. Otherwise, it'll go zipping right out from under me. All right. There's that one. And then remember, we're still using the boho blue for the second layer of this one. So we're just going to line that up a little bit there. Okay, come on, friend. There you go. Okay. And I'm going to go a little bit darker with this one. All right. And then bring it around and do the same thing here. Once you've played with the stencil a little bit, I am finding that it's a little bit easier to line up. You know, you're getting the hang of the stencil. Of course, as I say that, it's going to be contrary, but you know, whatever. Such as it is. All right. Okay, beautiful. And then the third one. And again, a little bit more challenging to figure out, especially when you don't have the whole piece to line up. But just do the best you can. Yeah, no, this one's actually a little more difficult. All right, so that's got to go there. And that's got to go there for sure. There we go. And a little bit of a twist. No. No, right there on the edge. Holy cheese balls. Okay, there we go. Okay, it's right there. All right. That was a little more challenging. All right. There we go. And there we have it. Beautiful, right? All right, let me do this one. Doing it upside down, so much worse. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, there we go. All right. Goodness gracious. Here we go. I'll give it a hot second before I go. Okay, we'll forget about that one for just now. All right, that piece is going to go there. That one goes right there. That one comes around here. Like that. Okay, that looks pretty good. You know, it's really not difficult to do. It's just, you know, and actually the coloring is really relaxing, so it's okay. All right. Now, again, with the green, much quicker. Let's take that piece and put it on here. Okay. And of course, you know me too, being really, really obsessive about all of it. Find all the little lines exactly. So, you know, if you were to just go over it loosely, it would take no time at all and it'd be very, very pretty. All right, here we go. But if you slide it, we'll see how much damage I did. Okay, there we go. Don't slide, darn it. There we go. All right. Yeah, just a tiny bit, not too bad. Nobody's going to notice. You wouldn't even notice if I hadn't pointed it out, right? All right. And then right here, believe it or not, is a tiny little spot. And I'm not even going to worry about going over that with the Mossy Meadow. I'm just going to put just enough there to show the green. Okay. And then Mossy Meadow. And this card is actually very, very pretty. I am loving it. I hope you guys are too. So many of you are still on here. Thank you so much for staying. All right. And there it is. Okay. I got a lot on that time. There we go. All right. There we have it. Okay. So there is our gorgeous envelope. Now imagine too, if you didn't want to necessarily worry about the greenery, you could finagle the flowers themselves and do a whole border, right? Maybe do a border around this way and then a border around this way. Wouldn't that be gorgeous? Doing a little bit here on the bottom as well. I mean, you could really go crazy with that kind of thing, right? Okay. We decided to keep this straight, so I'm going to trim just a teeny little edge of that off so that it matches the same as the other side. Okay. And then we're going to pop it up on dimensionals as well, and it's just going to sit right there. So it can hang off the edge of this one. It just needs to stay contained within this edge, right? Okay. Oh, you're working on a project too? What are you working on, love? I'm trying to not add dimensionals all the way to the edge because I know it's going to overlap here just a little bit, but I also don't want it to sag. So I'm going to put just one more set of dimensionals right there. You know, Debbie, yeah, I could absolutely love just hanging out, crafting, and everybody creating their own thing and hanging out together. I think it would be so much fun to do like a craft and chat thing, right? And then we could all see each other's projects and all kinds of cool things. All right, so I think, oh, hold on. I think right about there is what I want. So I think that looks good. And all right, guys, so there we go. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? I love it. Okay, and then of course we have our envelope And the inside piece will coordinate with this right here. So it's absolutely gorgeous. Oh my goodness. It could use a little touch of Wink of Stella. So I think maybe I'll do that. Okay, here we go. There. And I'm just kind of putting the Stella where the darker stuff is. Just a little, there we go. And then here, don't be tripping. Sometimes Stella gets away from you. I'm not squeezing. I never squeeze the bottle, but sometimes she just gets excited and wants to go wherever she wants to go. And it's all well and good if it's just little bits, but sometimes it comes out in puddles. So we don't really want that. We just want a little bit. There we go. That's nice. I like it. Okay, folks, there you have it. A beautiful card. You can see the shimmer. Woo-hoo-hoo. I love it. Okay, and then I will do this one later. Actually, I'll do it when we get off the live so I can put it in there and not forget about it. All right, guys, let me turn my camera around here right quick. All right, there we are. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me this evening. It was so much fun creating a project with you. I hope that you enjoyed the project. I hope you guys really enjoyed the Thankful Garden. That is my husband calling. Hold on just a second, folks. Hold on. You get to be a part of my call. He's calling my Google. He's telling me, hey, it's time to eat. Hey, make that thing stop talking. I'm on my live still. All right, everybody say hi to Matthew. Hi, Matthew. All right, I'll be up there in a minute. All right, love you, bye. Oh my goodness, y'all. All right. So anyway, Thankful Garden, Stamp and Die, and Decorative Mask Bundle. So it'll be the Thankful Garden bundle. It'll have all of the things in the bundle. Will be available for sale, I believe, March 5th. Maybe the 3rd, but I think it's the 5th. Okay. All right, folks. I hope you had a wonderful time. I really enjoyed having you guys here with me, doing the crafting thing, visiting. It's what makes all of this so much fun. So I really appreciate you all. All right, folks. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Have a fabulous weekend. And I will see you again next Thursday. Okay.